It is Sunday, April 4th. Happy Easter, everyone, and welcome to the In Theory podcast. I'm your host, NeedsAdjustin, along with my teammates, your boy Case. I'm Bubbles, and I'm Sliz. And today we have a special guest. She is also an affiliate Twitch streamer and self-proclaimed queen of the gulag. And she goes by the name of Kaptinkay. Welcome to the show, Kaptinkay.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course. Why don't we go ahead and start off with how you came up with your name?
Well, I didn't come up with my name. I'm the...
Hey, those are the best kind. When you're bestowed a nickname, that's like the best.
I'm the least creative person anybody could ever meet.
I feel like I take that crown from you. Sorry.
Well, it's pretty close. And I was decided to just go on this adventure one day, and my friend who was helping kind of just push me that way was like, I don't even know what to call myself, because my gamer tag at the time, I shared the console with my son, so our gamer tag was his name, his real name.
Oh, geez.
And I was like, well, you can't call me his name. So I struggled for like a week trying to come up with a name, and my friend just threw all kinds of ones out there, and I was like, I like that one, let's do it.
Nice. That's cool.
It's very
How long have you
original.
been streaming?
It has been, I actually just passed my year mark in February.
Awesome.
So
Oh, sorry. Let me back up a little bit. You've been streaming for a year. How long have you been streaming as an affiliate?
as an affiliate, I've been affiliated since August.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Cool. Well, yeah. Welcome. Happy Easter. Thank you so much for taking the time out.
Thank you.
I got one of those cool
but-
founders badges on her channel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Lit.
Speaking of
Justin has one
which,
too.
that is a great transition into our first topic regarding badges, is setting your style, right, for streaming. Is it important to set your style from day one, or is it a fly by the seat of your pants type of, constant evolution and changing?
I would have to say that it is a constant evolution. Everything is ever changing. If you stay the same, time catches up with you. And if you want to stay original, because imitation is the highest form of flattery. So whatever you're doing, other people are going to do it too if it works. And if you stay the same, they're going to take what is you and evolve that into them, and you're stuck being in the past or being old news. You gotta change. You gotta
I
keep
think
up with time.
Sliz knows exactly what you're talking about,
Oh, yeah.
especially when it comes to hit the diversity of his content. Salty.
So yeah, your style is constantly evolving, constantly changing, and it has to keep up with the norm and keep up with the times. Because if you don't, like you said, you're going to become old news, and you're going to lose that that spark everybody felt around you, or I don't know how to word this, but you lose the attraction as a content creator that you once had. So constantly innovating, you're going to constantly grow.
That makes sense. I would say yes and no. So like the ground rules that you set, I think should not change. So you should evolve as a content creator, yes, but stuff like what will fly in your chat, what will not fly in your chat, those should be set from day one. If you're a variety streamer, you should set that from day one, as opposed to like Kaptinkay mostly streams Warzone. So if she streamed nothing but Warzone, and then all of a sudden she wanted to try a different game, people would come in and be like, hey, why aren't you playing Warzone? Or if Jade had it where, people could come in and say crazy things to her and she wouldn't do anything about it, all of a sudden she starts enforcing that, people are going to be like, well, I thought this was cool here, blah, blah, blah. So I think certain things are important to set from day one, but of course, like content creation, like Sliz was talking about. Oh my God, I called you Sliz.
How dare you?
I call you Sliz all the time
doing that
now.
again.
By Salty.
But like,
I really just
you
want to
should
call you
evolve,
Salty
yeah.
like all the time. Like even when I intro you, brother, I want to call you Salty, but I'm like, I'm Sliz.
Salty Dalty.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me, honestly.
I want to touch upon that. What Christian went into regarding setting the ground rules, I think you guys know me. I'm quite a bit older. I've got the business mindset, and I always think about like retraining. It's always like retraining your audience. You need to coax them into either A, seeing content that is ever constantly changing, or that you're going to be streaming one thing and not be great at it, or that you have like a wholesome stream or you have a not so wholesome stream. It's out there, it exists, but I think there is a yes and a no. But stylistically speaking, I don't think you set that from day one, not even close. I think I would be the perfect example of that, because it was you, Christian, who pointed out, hey dude, your cooking streams are freaking fire, like you should do that more often. And I'm like, okay. And then so that's kind of where it changed, right? So I honestly think it's an evolving thing. Yeah, most definitely. But we didn't get to hear from Miss Bubbles over there.
I know, it's just over here. So you're talking about like style as in like how you set up your stream, like a theme you go by. Like,
yes.
Of course, my name is like Bubbles, so I have like Bubbles as my sub badges. And I now just made a GIF with my iPad to when I stream again, you'll see it.
Why share? Oh, it's like that. You gotta treat the rest of the team like we just.
So an alert pops up, it'll like kind of like boop, 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 and then pop. So it does like that. So it's kind of cool. I was really proud of it. So like I have that going on, and I didn't have that from the start. So like I went from a roller coaster of different names because I wasn't taking streaming seriously. But if you're gonna take it seriously, I feel like just trying to like set like a small boundary for yourself, and then you can expand from there.
A boundary, a guideline, right? Just
yeah, kind of like a guideline. Yeah.
I am still heated that YaBoyCase is taken on Twitch. I had to put an underscore. If I ever find that man online, we're gonna have a conversation.
If I ever.
Be like, homie,
what
change your
Cap?
name.
I'm super curious, Cap, regarding your style. I don't think I've known you long enough to see your style change. I've seen the games change. I've seen the camera angles change. Maybe the quality of the stream a little bit because you moved to a PS5, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And that helps quite a bit, you feel? Oh, yeah.
I mean, it definitely looks cleaner and smoother, but I'm just kind of like, okay, this works, but then it's like I can see something or get introduced to something that works better. So I'll try it, see if I like it, and just I don't know, I'm always watching other people, seeing what they're doing, seeing what works for them, but how can maybe I take that and make that my own? Like these lightings, people use different lighting, so it was just a struggle trying to find like a really good lighting. Some of that I'm still working on, and I mean, it's just you're constantly changing, but like Kay said, you have that backbone to your stream of this is who I am, this is what we do as a community, but then the stream itself takes on its own life and is always changing and growing and evolving and getting better. And yeah,
hell yeah, because you always have that one viewer that gives a suggestion and they're like super close to the stream and then it clicks for you and you're like, duh, why didn't I think of that?
Like,
I'm totally gonna do that from here on out.
And every stream has that one wild card person that wants to go off the deep rails every once in a while, and you're like, bro, calm down.
Yeah. Tangent, Christian, we call it tangent. They just want to
chill, bro.
They just want to expand on a tangent. But no, that's hilarious.
Another thing before we go to the next topic on evolving, so like Bubbles started going into the graphic design, learning more about it, and I started editing videos. And if it's something I didn't put myself in the position to do, like, hey, I've got to do this, so I just jumped into it, and now I enjoy editing, and she enjoys graphic design. So if you're curious about something and you want to just start doing it, I vote just do it and give it a try. If you don't like it, then dip out, but you should definitely give it a try.
YouTube is a great help, just saying. I did not know how to do any of the GIF things or anything like that. I was just like, how do I animate this?
Yeah, no, I
took me
totally feel you guys.
5 hours.
And I think that is the best way, right? Just to toss yourself into it, because I know if you keep going back and forth about it, it never ends up happening. You kind of sit on the fence, and then what? So I think that's a humongous tip to anyone starting out. You want to learn something, just throw yourself into it. Just do it, because there's no what's the famous Wayne Gretzky quote, right?
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
My man, thank you
Kobe.
very much. That's right.
The bean.
I find it interesting that a lot of people think that Michael Jordan was the one who came up with that quote, and not a lot of people know it's Wayne Gretzky.
No, Kobe's
but
quote
anyway.
was, "I'd rather go 3 for 30 than 0 for 3."
Yep.
Hell yeah, I remember that quote. That's right. But
Any basketball quotes you asked Christian or your boy
for sure.
case?
He knows. He just knows.
Cap's
He
got
loves
the
some
Kobe
basketball.
connection there, so she studies.
Oh yeah, she does.
Studies Mr. Bean.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very nice. You learn something new about our special guests every single time. That's amazing. Now I know. That's amazing. So Cap, you know that we are a part of this group, right? The Team Theory.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, how do you feel about teams in general? Like, do you think it helps streamers out? Do you think it kind of hinders streamers? What's your personal take on it?
I'm in the middle. I definitely know that there are big pros to being a part of a team, but myself, I'm not. And it's not that I don't want to be. I just, in real life, I am not a social butterfly, but for whatever reason in this virtual world, I have so many friends.
That's not surprising.
And
That is not surprising, because you overcome those walls, right?
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm really not gonna lie to you. As personable as I am, unless I had business to speak about with either one of you, if I saw you guys out in the open, probably wouldn't communicate, right?
exactly.
But then you get online, you only need one thing and one thing only. What's that? Oh, I shot you. Oh, damn, you did, hacker. And all of a sudden, you're totally just breaking down those walls, which is amazing. But okay, I just want to set up context for everyone. The reason why that question that I initially asked Kaptinkay was a loaded question, because initially we actually asked Kaptinkay if she wanted to be a part of Team Theory.
Yes. So
Because in all honesty, we felt that Team Theory needed more female presence in reality, and Cap is very strong within her community. She represents gamers really well in the space. I hate to say the word or phrase girl gamer. I really dislike that tag. I dislike it. Like,
Gamer girl.
I could go on a tangent and just do a whole podcast about that. But and we asked her, and I think her answer truly defines where she sits or doesn't sit at the moment, right? Which is fine, it's perfectly fine. But Bubbles, what's your thoughts on teams? I know I'm going to ask this question and pass it around the group. I know some of you are a little bit biased, but what the angle I'm looking for here is some of you have already been part of teams before and gotten the short end of the stick. Would love to hear from Bubbles on that.
Previously, Sliz and I were on a team before. A team who shall not be named.
Okay, we're not
Like
trying.
Voldemort.
There's pros and cons to it. Like, we have this team here, and I feel like we all work really well together because we're all like really good friends. Of course, I have to be with YaBoyCase because I kind of have to
I've
deal
been
with
trying
him
to
every
give her
day.
away for months now.
No one wants to take me away, get me out of my misery. But if not done properly, I feel like it'll just like drive people down and not want to do what they set out to do in the first place. Like, connect with each other. You don't want to connect with people who are only trying to just use you to grow their own channel. Like, they wanted us as our individual selves to stop streaming on our channels and stream off of a team one that had nothing and grow it for them. And that right there was a big no for me. Like, I hate that.
That's a big no. Like,
Now, if we want to have like a community event type thing and then have like set up something. I know there's like it's a website you can go to where you can like multi-stream or whatever.
Cap tried to set it up for Shots Fired one day.
I saw Queen, a friend of ours, she was doing it the other night, and it was really hilarious to see different point of views. I think that's a good way to put it. Not, hey, stop your channel, come over here and stream off ours.
And the thing is you could always set it up, like set up a team Twitch, right? And then just auto host. Like that's what I do for the Theory members. All the other 3, and they're all on auto host. So if I'm not streaming, one of them is playing if they're streaming. But the idea of going to stream on somebody else's channel, like,
it's like a hit or miss.
Especially when it comes to the question of monetization.
Yep.
Because that will get hairy very quickly.
I'm stacking someone else's bag.
Yeah, I had a lengthy conversation with the owner of that team about the monetization aspect of it. I straight up was like, some of us are better streamers than some of the other ones, and we bring a lot more attention than other streamers.
I saw Justin's face. I'm sorry.
Not me, not Jade. I'm not saying that I'm better than somebody else. I'm just saying some are better than others and bring more people to the stream. And if somebody drops a 50 gifted in that stream and nobody else gets anything, no bits, no gifts, no subs, no nothing, it's going to negatively affect the people that are putting in the most work to bring the entertainment to the streaming. And that's ultimately what I'm trying to say. So it's a very like, why is he getting paid for something that I did kind of thing.
Sorry, I just made that face because I couldn't imagine one of the most even-keeled, calm people I know straight up saying, I'm better than a lot of your other streamers.
Oh,
so I want to know how the money works. I can't imagine. That's why I was like,
no, I was just,
I was like, oh.
It was more. It wasn't worded exactly like that. That was a very bad way to.
Look at him backpedal. Look at him backpedal. Cap's backpedal now. I wasn't that harsh. It wasn't that bad. I said that, you know.
It was that bad, but worded differently. Because I had voiced my opinions so many times to like.
He's like, I said it very eloquently.
Like there's only so many times you can have a conversation with somebody before you have to get to that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and we had that conversation multiple times, and I'm like, hey, some people bring in more viewers than others, and that's just how it is. You know, because if you're already partner and you're just like, hey, I'm gonna be streaming on my team's Twitch, come check it out. You know, and their entire fan base comes over, and they. 1000% hype train right off the get-go. Fuck, little Timmy over here that just hasn't even made affiliate yet.
Don't pick on Timmy. He's trying really hard.
Salty. He's trying really hard, but
dick.
No,
my bad.
I love it. I love it. Salty's out here like roses are red, violets are blue. I'm a better streamer than those other two. How does this all work?
100%. I'm not. I'm just getting back into it. I've still got much to learn.
No, I think we all do in reality.
Yeah, another thing with the team channel thing I was gonna say is not everyone streams the same.
Oh yeah.
Like I give off a whole different vibe. Sliz gives off a different vibe. Justin, you do. Okay. Christian over here hits a crazy snipe. And he's like, and that's it. I'm like, how are you not hyped?
TikToks don't have face cams.
So it's like someone's gonna go to the team channel and expect to see that person, and they're gonna have a whole different vibe, and it's not gonna keep people there. I don't see that happening.
I think that's a great example. Case, tell the story about when Business came to play with us on my stream.
Oh my god. So my friend Business, right? So I played with Keith and Business, and they're gonna watch this and be like, you dogged us out, bro. So Business is kind of with the shit. Keith not so much, right? So when I play with those two, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna laugh, but we're probably not going to win, right? But some of the stuff that comes out of their mouth, Kay has a couple friends like this too. I think you have to tell them like, hey, I'm streaming, there are words you can't say, and in certain cultures there are words that people say a lot that are bannable on Twitch. So I was like, hey, he's streaming and his stream is a lot different than mine. I let a lot of stuff fly. Justin does not. So watch your mouth. So we get in, and he is being the most proper gentleman he's ever been in his entire life. And it was like, you could hear the struggle in this man's voice the entire time. He's like, yes, I saw 2 gentlemen that way. I think we should go after them. It's up to you, though. I'm with whatever, friends. And I'm like, business. You went too far to the south, my guy. You're good.
And then he talks to his wife, right?
And then the wife comes in, and she's like, watch your mouth. He's streaming, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, my God. It was hilarious.
Do you ever have to run into that issue, Cap? With those particular friends that or do you just let anything fly on your stream?
Time, I mean, I'm pretty laid back, but there are some things where it's just like, listen, like that can't happen. And if that happens, like I'm not going to play with you. You're cool, you're a great friend and all, but I'm trying to do something here. And if you're gonna hurt or hinder that, I mean, we can be friends outside of this, but this is my baby, and this is gonna come first.
Damn it, Hella sounded like she broke up with someone.
It's not you, it's me.
I've definitely.
You have a lot to offer to our gameplay. But with that said, there are certain parts of you that I can't have in my life.
It's just the timing just doesn't work. We could try again in the future.
Sorry, I cut you off, Salty. What was
No,
it?
you're fine. I've definitely got friends that I'm not streaming and playing with you at the same time.
No.
Wait,
I
what was
can't.
that, Jade?
Oh, I know.
Miss Bubbles made
I
a
know
face
one.
at the comment.
I know
that
one of
Salty just
them.
made.
Yeah.
I need to know the context of that joint.
Oh, he's just very foul-mouthed and does not
Doesn't care
about
about
what's going on. He doesn't care if you're streaming. I tell him, hey, I'm streaming. And then about 30 seconds later, something pops out of his mouth. And I'm like, all right, dude, I'm just going to kick you from the party. And it
witnessed it.
is what it is. Yeah. But I have certain people in my friend groups that, there are like brothers of mine that I just will not have on stream. It's 100% because of, who they are as a person.
Damn.
Love them to death.
Oh, goddamn.
I know he went into the character flaw department. It wasn't like,
It's
oh
100
no, we're not talking about your gameplay. You as a person. No, I can't be around that.
Yeah, 100% would take a bullet for him. 100% would not let them break TOS on my stream.
Oh, well,
For sure.
well.
For sure.
Mhm.
So it's
I
like,
get that.
hey, dude, I love you, but no,
Not for the
you're-
next 3 hours.
Yeah.
Catch you
Watch-
later.
If you want to see
Before-
what I'm up to, watch a stream.
Exactly. Before we move on to our next topic, I want to go off on a tangent real quick to discuss. I want to put it delicately, but like gender bias, right? I'm not sure if you all are familiar with like male privilege.
Oh,
Like there are certain things that we can do as males out there in the open, out there on stream, that is almost expected of us, but we can get away with it even if it's out of character. And then for women, they don't get that same luxury. They experience like a lot more toxicity. I was curious if, because we're still on the subject of streaming groups, have you ever been approached by an all-girl streaming group to join? Cap?
So you can go first.
Alley-oop's there. Dunk it home.
I like say it all the time that I want nothing more than to have more girl, female friends to stream with, to play with, to be friends with. It's the hardest thing. And you don't get approached much by other women. I think Bubbles and Queen are the only two.
Shout out to
That I
Queen.
Shout out to Queen.
I'll
And-
get her on here too.
Are we gonna have her on the show?
That's it.
It's in the plans, yes.
Okay, cool. Bubbles, you?
I haven't been approached by a stream group, but I have been into a couple Discords with those all girls, and it was kind of nice. Like some of them are really chill. I would love to play more games with them, but it's just like our time schedules are really off. A lot of them live like in like Australia. Like I was like, our times don't really match up that well, but we try sometimes. And then a lot of the times you get into those groups, and for me, I had a few negative experiences. Like I wasn't like cool enough to be with those girls or whatever. It was a weird thing. I don't know. They were nice at first, and then I just wasn't like more out there, I guess.
Mhm.
Oh, didn't reach their social threshold enough to be.
Yeah, and then they just didn't want me to be playing with them all the time. So I was just like, meh. I got some homies.
A lot of times with like streamer groups, people find it like a competition. So like people don't see it like if us 5 are at a table, we can all eat. Like it's not like if Justin's doing well, then the other 4 of us are not doing well. Like the idea
that's a maturity level mental perspective type of thing at that point.
But one good thing about being in that group was I met a girl named Jackie. Well, I call her Jackie. It's Livia. She's a really good friend, and she invited me to this Discord with some friends that she went to school with, and now they're like my best friends. I'm in there like every day talking to them. I play Apex with them. Going back to leave me alone, okay? And then going back to the people you can't stream with, there's a couple in there where as soon as I join the chat and I know they're in there, or if they join in, everyone who knows that someone is streaming goes, shut up, they're streaming. Just so they don't say all the bad things, get weird, because they're weird sometimes, just to each other, not like to me, not to Jackie or anything like that. We're like, in their eyes, we're just one of the guys. So they'll say like the weird stuff around all of us, and just I'm like, please don't. It's against TOS. Please don't say any of that. So I mean,
oh no, I'm sure. I can only imagine.
But like streamer groups with girls is, I like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just gonna throw this out there because just over the years, things that I've noticed and picked up on. I think there's this false stigma that goes around, that gets passed around like by rumor, and it's been like that since the dawn of time, since people were gaming online, that women are catty to each other, and it automatically kind of turns them off. Like they're already on the defensive when they walk into a Discord with all girls. Like, how am I going to be treated? Like, do I need to walk on eggshells? Like, what is this going to be like? That's what I've noticed thus far. Help me out. Are you guys noticing the same thing?
With going to those Discords and those people I didn't really get along with, some of them were that way. But most of them were really great. So it's just like a hit or miss. It's like everyday people. Like I run into issues with some male streamers who are, I don't want to be friends with you because you don't have enough going on. So you can't help me in any way. So I don't care to play with you. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, every kind of rumor, myth, whatever, has some basis in fact, and there just tends to be more. You can't even say women, more girls, again on the maturity level, that tend to be a little catty or backstabbing, whatever are the stigmas or what you would think would be a typical person like that. And sometimes that is what you get, and it can be difficult. I've always been one of the bros and don't ever have many girlfriends, even in real life. And so it's more, to me, I just feel it scares me or I get really nervous to go around a group of girls because I want to get along with them and I want nothing more than to fit in and be friends and have girlfriends and not just be a bro. It's scary.
It really is. It can be.
No, I completely agree with you. Any thoughts, Salty, Christian?
A lot of like me and Bubbles and I, for all you English people out there who are gonna jump me in the comment section, we play a lot of Valorant, right? So we specifically tell Jade not to talk in game chat until
Makes
we
me
get
so
like
mad.
a vibe check. Which
I've
is
seen you guys do that.
which is ridiculous. It should not
That
be
is
a thing.
ridiculous.
So many times I have just like made a call out and it just went like from, hey, we're doing great as a team to all the way down to Shitsville because they're just like, fuck you.
Do you
Like-
sell bathwater? Like, bro, we're playing
Yeah, that has
Valorant.
happened and I was like, do I need to mute you too? And he was like, oh, I'm sorry.
It's
At least he
ridiculous.
apologized.
It's not like you would expect that coming from the other team that you play with, right? You would you trash talk the opposing team. That's just kind of what you do. But when it's your own teammates, because you opened your mouth and said something, and you're a girl, and they start attacking you just because you're a girl, why?
So
I
We could be
can't wrap my
winning.
mind around it.
You could be the top of the leaderboard. You could be winning, and your own teammates are going to be just saying terrible, horrible, everything in the book kind of things towards you.
And it gets a lot worse when they take it from game, find out you're streaming, and hop in and try to ruin your mood.
Yes.
I was so pissed. I was like,
I believe that. And that's horrendous. But I think the more we talk about it, the better off we'll be. The more visibility we give, the more we do these type of podcasts. When we have these guests expressing what they experience, I think that helps quite a bit. It's going to be a slow journey to get to that point of
oh yeah.
true understanding equality and sportsmanship. Like, damn, like a lot of these kids just don't get enough hugs in reality.
the
It's-
younger
it's-
generation is a whole different breed. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
But even
that's so
taking it
true.
from
I'm a
those-
boomer.
Those of you that actually have played with Pastry Prophet, I was scared shitless that somehow, some way, he was going to grow up like that. That he was going to be surrounded by masculine toxicity, and regardless of what lessons I taught him, you know, or what guidance I gave, that he was just going to turn out like that, just because so much of the world is like that. And I honestly couldn't be happier with the way he grew up to be a young man. Like, that dude,
He's a really good kid.
yeah, he stands up for the little guy. Yeah, no, he's good people. Anyway, enough about that. Just off on a tangent about parenting, because I do feel it starts at home, especially with the way certain people act.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, acting like that towards other people isn't inherent. That is something taught. So they got it from somewhere, and more oftentimes than not, they got it from home. You know, which is
Shout out
pretty
to
sad.
young Kobe and Princess Marie.
Yep.
Yeah, Princess Marie. I love it when she hops in my stream. For those of you that don't know, Princess
She's
Marie.
there.
Oh, sorry, I should back up. I don't even ask you if that's okay to just share.
Extra guest
Oh no,
appearance.
it's okay. It's fine. They're actually
yeah.
they're not here, so we're not getting an appearance for them. But yeah.
Kaptinkay has two beautiful children. Two, right?
Just
Okay. Two beautiful children. I didn't want to get the number wrong, and all of a sudden the eight is a fourth. What? No. What? When? Like 9 months ago, fam. No. I don't want to get the number wrong, but yeah. Princess Marie, she hops into my cooking streams all the time. You're streaming, all caps, and it brightens up my day every single time. I'm like, oh my god, hey, how are you?
Those
She's
kids are
everybody hyped
ballers.
For real. I think it's just a select few. that have kind of gone down the wrong road and picked up the
Mhm.
wrong things. But I think that speaks to what the parents intended as a goal for them. Ooh, speaking of goal, that is a great segue to our next subject, was reaching your goal as affiliate. Do we have any tips and tricks out there for the people trying to reach affiliate? Like they just started, right?
I'll go.
And I'm sorry?
I'll go first.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
I see a lot of people going for affiliate, and they will stream all day, every day, and that's not the way to do it, Chief. Like I promise you, you think you need to put the time in, and that's true, but you're hurting yourself more than you're helping yourself.
I just want to touch upon that because I think the reason why a lot of people don't get that is because they don't have a good grasp on mathematics and how it works in your favor, especially when it comes to statistics and averages, right?
Check
if
the
you stream
statistics
for a longer
fam.
period of time with less viewers, it's going to bring down your average. If you stream for a short amount of time with a shit ton of viewers, your average goes through the roof. And that's where you kind of need to be at, right? If I'm not mistaken. I mean, that's what we're talking about when we say reaching the goal of affiliate.
I think it's because a lot of people who are trying to reach affiliate are stuck trying to compare themselves with, the less than 1% of streamers that they see on their recommended and whatnot on Twitch.
I agree.
They see, these people with thousands of viewers that stream, like XQC will hold like 60,000 viewers for 12 hours a day. And they're just like, oh, I love his content. I want to be like him, so I'm going to act like him. And it's just the wrong mindset to be in when trying to reach affiliate.
And people have their own styles, right? So like if all of a sudden Kaptinkay started acting like Dr. Disrespect, it would not work.
I think it.
I don't know.
think it might-
You can get the stash, bro. You get the little shades.
I have the same hair now,
She gives herself like a mini mullet. It's got
Violence,
hair back.
speed, momentum, bro.
Oh, you know what? I know what it's called. It's called a pompadour. You should give yourself one of those where it's all in the front and then it's all just swept back. Oh my god! Then the shades, like what is it? Python? No, help me out. Thank you, Pit Viper. That's such a stereotypical. Can someone help me out? Help me understand why that's the stereotypical eyeglass wear for
because there's
people.
Slogans that go with it. So I don't think I should say some of them.
Fair. That's fair.
They are that rough, but there's they've been adopted by higher profile people in that sort of genre of people, I guess you could say.
He's trying so hard.
Yeah, it's just the choice of eyewear for some southern cliques.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
You can tell who went to sensitivity training on the base. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You know who went to sensitivity training. That was salty. That's the reason why I gave that face a while ago, folks. I was shocked when he said, I'm better than those other people.
I didn't say that I'm better.
I didn't say that. God.
I said that there are people who are better than other people.
I think another thing you should do is find a game you really enjoy, because if you don't enjoy playing it, no one's going to watch you play it either.
Oh yeah.
And find a game that's not heavily saturated to get started is my opinion. So if you jump into Warzone and if you have to scroll, when you go watch a streamer, do you scroll down to the very bottom of the page? I do, because I like watching small streamers, but most people don't. They'll find someone in the top 20 and click them.
I sometimes get a little lazy trying to scroll. I'm like, all right, I'm done. All right, this row, this person.
Yep.
So,
which I think leads to discoverability. I think they should flip that algorithm. When you click on a certain genre, all the heavy saturated streamers should be at the very bottom, and all the small streamers should be at the top.
So they do have a filter feature where you can do just started
that is
Or
an
you-
extra step that I need to go through as a person who's trying to discover someone awesome who has yet to be discovered.
Well,
Do you see what I'm saying?
me as a lazy person, I'm like, I don't want to scroll.
I
So
forget about filter.
I do the filter of like least viewers to most rather
Mm-hmm.
than the least. Or you can do the ones that are just started. So they're just like, you just pop in on their just starting screen. And so whenever they come up, you're just like, hey, he's like, no one's been here this early ever. And they get excited. But on the topic of finding small niche games to stream rather than AAA titles, I've seen it from buddies of mine who stream that I work with, who had started out, got affiliate through those little indie games, and then branched away from it since they got affiliate, and rock bottom. They went from like 10 to 15 viewers per stream from that diehard fan base to like maybe 2 or 3 because, you know, those are the true supporters.
Yeah.
So it's I don't think it's a strict start with a smaller like a smaller diehard fan base, or start with a you know, you could start with a AAA title and then, you know, if you get found, you get found kind of thing. It's ultimately, what are you doing to get yourself out there for people to come to your stream?
Facts.
What I wish I would have known before I decided to do it myself. I would watch Twitch and would just lurk. I'm still to this day a huge
Lurk
lurker.
queen.
I love it.
I'm watching, I'm here. I might say something every once in a while, but I would just lurk. But once I became more involved in someone's community and became more talkative and put myself out there and really established relationships and connections across Twitch, is when you see yourself growing. So whereas it took me several months to hit affiliate, I've watched other people who already kind of had themselves established within someone else's community. It took them a week or however many, just the bare minimum to get affiliate, because they already had those connections and they were already, you know, they had relationships with people, and it just helped them.
Yeah, exactly. Let's take a step back, because I don't feel it's fair that we talk about tips and tricks to get to affiliate. Totally didn't even go over the KPIs or key performance indicators of what it takes to get to affiliate. I had to pull it up just now. So first of all, you need to reach 50 followers.
Mhm.
Right. Next one is you need to stream for at least 8 hours cumulatively. Right. It's not like you need to go 8 hours straight, but you need to do a total of 8 hours. And then stream on 7 different days throughout a rolling calendar, which is not very hard. And then you need to have an average of 3 viewers. Now,
the one that
I
gets
think
people.
this is where that comes into play in terms of the average and how people don't get it. They think they just stream for a longer period of time, and then they get 1, 5, 2, 7, and they think that'll average out to more than 3, and it won't. You're better off streaming for like 1 or 2 hours, or maybe even 3 at your 3, or, you know, push the social media and everything else to get to where you need to be. I think in total, for me personally, it took me 30 days to get to affiliate. But that's just because I'm a social butterfly. I was already heavily deep into other branches of social media, and I just put it out there. I'm streaming. So people are like, oh, okay, I'll check you out. And then I'll never forget, one of the VIPs in my stream, he goes by the name of Pale Brew. He actually tweeted. He was like, hey, my guy NeedsAdjustin. He's almost there. We need to get him there. If you can come through. And I'll never forget, it was like a flood of like people just coming through and like giving a follow and getting the average up. So it was pretty cool. But yes, those are the actual stats that you need to have to reach affiliate. So yes, now I digress. We can go back to the tips and tricks on how to reach those
I would like
goals.
to add, if you're going to make connections with other streamers or in other communities, make sure it's genuine. So
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
you don't want to force your way into anybody's community, because that's not cool. And then it has to be like, you know, like a regular connection you'd make anywhere. So,
Like the vibe has to be like just right.
Mm-hmm. But also too,
No,
the biggest thing is don't compare yourself to anyone, because where it took me a few months to reach affiliate, and my biggest hurdle was the 3 average viewers. I had friends who, I'd be like, hey, you tell me when, I'm there. I have other friends, we'll be there, we'll support you. They didn't have any trouble hitting that 3-person mark. But because it took them longer to reach affiliate, they would give up, or they were comparing themselves to other people who were hitting it faster than them or not as fast as them. And it's, again, going back to building connections and networking with other people. They couldn't get the 50 followers. It's just every hurdle for every streamer is different. Some might have the same, but how they overcome it might be different. You are unique. You can't compare yourself to other people.
Yeah, everyone has their own timeline for things.
Mm-hmm.
As in real life, and with streaming, and with everything else.
So I think of our 4, Justin got it first, and then Jade got it. And then I got it, and then we got Salty.
The account that I'm streaming on, which is my main account, I had reached affiliate. I just, with moving, and I was just working all the time, I didn't really stream that often anymore. I kind of just I was stopped for a while. Yeah, Justin. So I see you.
When you were still at, I'm sorry, I didn't know that you moved. Was this when you were with the footwear place?
Oh, this was like for like a while back. Like when I
Oh, so you actually reached affiliate before all of us.
Yeah, I just wasn't active.
Okay, big time.
No, I just love the way she crept it in. It's like, instead of
actually I'm better than all of you.
She actually was like, going around the subject. It's like, actually, the main account that I had, it kind of was already there.
Okay.
Like, there's level to this, guy.
I did stream before, and I stopped for a while because I just felt like I was just going, and I wasn't enjoying it. So I stopped, just focused on playing games, hanging out, working, and then after me and Christian moved in together, it was like, hey, let's do our PC things, let's stream more, have fun, it's a great time.
Which is a great segue into the next subject, because I can only imagine that moving took up some of your funds. There's always this question like, hey, when you're starting out, do you really need an expensive setup to start out? And I personally will probably take a step back from this conversation just a little bit. As all of you know, I am so much of a brand whore. And I actually own my own businesses. So a lot of it is a tax deductible for me because I am S Corp. So let's start with Cap.
What was your first streaming setup? We'll go with that. And how did you get started?
So I have a friend who knows a lot about Twitch, knows a lot about the streaming, knows a lot. He was heavily involved in Mixer when Mixer was a thing, and kind of pushed me to go ahead and take the step to start. So I always tell people, just get started, just do it. A lot of my friends, a lot of my friends are PlayStation players. Maybe 1 or 2 of us out of our big acquaintance or friend group have PCs. We're all PlayStation. And I tell them all the time, like, you can get started. You don't even have to have a face cam. I know several people who are affiliated and they just stream off their PlayStation without a face cam. Is it the best way? For some people, no, but for other people, that's what works. But because I had this friend who was giving a lot of really good advice, I went the route of getting the capture card. I do stream off my console, not a PC. So I did get the capture card and the webcam and the microphone and all the the extra stuff. But I have other friends who stream off the console, no face cam, stream off the console with the face cam, do what I do, or stream with their PC. It's really up to you.
I had to
tend to go to PC.
My first setup, you guys ready? I had a laptop. It was not a gaming laptop. And I would, can I legally say that? Hold on.
It is okay. You're the editor.
I had games on my laptop that may or may not have been PC games, and I would play them that way, allegedly, and
just rumors.
Yeah,
just rumors.
Cannot be proven. And I had an Xbox controller, and I streamed that way. I would capture it in OBS. I didn't have a camera. My microphone was god awful. I think I used a headset actually, and that's how I started streaming. Was I would just capture it. I would capture the alleged emulator on the screen, and that's how I broadcasted it. And eventually I was able to buy a computer and all those things, and that's how I got started.
Mine was I did stream off my Xbox for the longest time. I had a old laptop that kind of helped me out afterwards, but my camera was the Xbox One Connect, and it was very, very
baller.
Finicky.
It was very, very bad. It worked, but I mean, compared to like what I have now, I mean, it worked at the time, but it don't need money for it. Like you don't, because you would need money.
Coffee.
So my very first setup was the TV, like the monitor that I used was a 38-inch 720p TV. I had my Xbox, and then I had my laptop that was on deployment with me, so it was like all beat up, and it wasn't the best. And I would open up the Xbox console companion app, and I would stream the output from my Xbox to my PC, and then use OBS to capture that window. And that was basically it.
I know somebody who it was back in the Justin TV days. They would literally have a webcam pointing to the TV of the game they were playing, and that's how they streamed. It was wild back in the day. It was wild.
Whatever works, right?
Oh yeah, that's ultimate capture right there.
Like looking back, I remember walking in and I was like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Streaming." I'm like, "If that's what you call it, bro." And then I left. But, I mean, that's how it was back in the day, bro. It was like the wild west of streaming.
I think it's just as you grow, your setup gets better, because the people that are there for you, not because you look flashy, not because of you have the latest and greatest.
Was that a bald joke?
A what joke?
A bald joke?
A bald joke.
I mean,
if the hair fits, I mean, what?
What doesn't?
But yeah, I mean, they're there for you and what you bring, your personality, your style, not because you have the latest and greatest, not because you have flashy this or flashy that or fancy this. They're there for you.
I have the statistics to prove that you are wrong about me in particular. They're here for my food. They ain't here for me. I think, was it Salty? Were you the one who pointed it out? I think one time I hit like 24, all on a Saturday, like a scrumptious Saturday stream, and I always hide the numbers. We went over that in the first podcast, but I was like, no, no, they're here for the food. They're not here for me. I'm lucky. I don't mess it too badly when I make food. So yeah, no, that's really good.
Well, I mean, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna dip into why I kind of stepped out of the conversation, but go ahead before we get. I
was gonna say you could have the best setup out there, but if you have the personality of a Ken toy doll, no one's gonna watch you.
No.
100%.
This is so true. This
is
so true. And then can we talk a little bit about actually how much it takes out of you to stream? A lot of people think it's just, you just throw yourself in front of a camera.
Get in front of a camera, forehead.
If even me, who's very, very social, I will have issues getting in front of the camera because it just takes so much out of you.
Oh yeah.
you have to be super conscientious of your chat, the game, donations, subs.
Channel points.
There are so many little things. Lighting, camera placement.
Make sure your mic's
clips.
on.
Yeah.
Autofocus on the webcam.
I think the mic one is definitely me. You guys should
Changing
add-
your scenes properly. I've started playing a game and I was still on just chatting. I was like,
Yep.
mistakes were made.
Christian the other day.
Yeah, I was like,
that.
it's just chatting.
No, I was streaming Rocket League and I was like in the midst of the game and he was like, "Hey bud, you're still in just chatting." And I was like, "Oh."
That's
My
why
bad.
it's important
It
to
happens.
have mods in your chat that can tell you
Yeah.
such things.
Ooh, that's a really good one to touch upon because I think that doesn't get touched upon enough. How you choose your mods. Maybe that's, with the time that we have allotted, maybe that's a discussion for a different podcast. But
We
I
could
think
definitely
that's
do that.
super important and that gets glossed over heavily.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, that's great. Anything else to add, folks?
You were gonna mention something why you stepped out of the conversation.
Oh,
Oh yeah, damn! I was hoping I could just completely step out of that. I've been a brand loyalist since 2008. In
He's
2008, I had an 8800 GTX.
To be honest, I don't know what that is.
To NVIDIA.
But okay,
Yeah,
okay.
It was some NVIDIA.
And I was one of the first people. I was one of the first people to water cool that card, and water cool my CPU. And
Terrifying.
then from there, it just escalated. It never stopped. If I'm ever in a relationship with a partner and they're like, "Wow, you spend a good amount of," yes, and that's not going to change. Like that would
Yes.
be that straight up, and it just escalates. And I think now the only difference is it makes sense because a lot of what gets removed from my current setup whenever I go to the new one gets passed along to my boys, and so they reap the benefits. Oh, for sure.
Shout out to Justin here for my graphics card currently.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's actually yours.
right. Yeah. And that's just because if I have the extra parts, you might as well put it to use. If someone could benefit from it, especially nowadays with the chip shortage and the scalpers and the miners, like so much to really delve into, and it's just bananas.
Subject
yeah.
for another day as well.
Bro, try to
Oh,
build a
for
PC
sure.
right now and look at the cost.
Oh, it's bananas, and that's the reason why I kind of
Kaptinkay.
want to give Cap a hard time, but I can't give
I
Cap a hard
tried.
time.
Yeah.
I tried.
So
I can't.
fun story. We actually sat down in different cities and we tried to build a PC, and it was like the amount of money it would cost for some of these graphics cards. It just didn't make sense. It didn't. And then the pre-builds that had the good parts in it were all sold out. So you could get an overpriced system that
Poop
is
bag.
ridiculous. It's crazy right now.
There was a flash sale for like all of an hour where there was a 3070 inside of whatever cyber power system was being sold on Best Buy, and it sold out like that.
Bro,
And
people
you don't
will
really
pay
care about
$3,000 just to get the graphics card out of it.
No, it was $1,600. That's the reason why it went out so quick.
Bro, it's crazy.
Wow.
Who drove to another state at 3 a.m. in the morning to go to a warehouse that was restocked, and they sold out.
He drove 3 hours there and they sold out by the time he got there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be heated.
Oh yeah.
I'm also
That's
the
rough.
dumbass who stood out in front of Target for
All night.
8 hours to get a PS5. But, it's
Legit.
a story.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. And special thanks to Kaptinkay for joining us. That is our time on this fine Easter Sunday. I want to thank you all for joining us, and we'll catch you all next week. Peace out.
Bye!
Bye.
Bye.